What's up, my dudes? On today's episode, we are going to be taking a quick look at the differences between the brand new Big Muff 2, the Big Muff Op Amp, and the Big Muff Nano. So the Big Muff 2 is the latest Big Muff out from Electro Harmonics, and the reason I've picked the other two to compare it against is the orange one is a single op amp, whereas the new one is a dual op amp. So I thought they might be relatively similar. And then the Nano is, I think, is going to be the most different, but I wanted it there as kind of like, what do you have in a science experiment? What do they call it? A control. So that's, the classic is the one that everyone knows and loves, so we can see how it stacks up against that. Also, you're going to have to bear with me today because I'm sick as a dog, so I'm up to my eyeballs in painkillers, so I'm not going to be playing at my best, but that doesn't matter because we are here to hear how these pedals sound. Is that right? Let's just go with yes. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with all of them at 12 o'clock, and I just want to see how these sound out of the box, everything on 12, and just how different or similar they are. I'm running through my Les Paul Junior double cut, and the amp that I'm using today is the Universal Audio Dream, which is like a clean Fender sound, which sounds a bit like this. Cool. Right, so let's start with the new one, shall we? So this is the sound of the new Big Muff 2. That's a really cool sound. Right, I want to put more top end on that, but I just, for the sake of the experiment, let's move on to the Op Amp Big Muff, which I am going to guess is going to be the most similar out of all of these. Can't reach. Okay, well I'm instantly wrong. Am I out of tune? Let's check. Right, that's better. Okay, so those two are so different to each other already. This has got way more top end and way less bottom end on it. Actually, I wonder if I take the tone out of the circuit. Right, how do they sound compared to each other now? Nothing like each other at all. This is way louder. The Big Muff 2 is so much louder. Wow, I'm so surprised by that. Okay, that's interesting. Right, so let's go on to our control for today, which is the Nano Big Muff. Everything at 12 o'clock, here we go. And that is insanely quiet. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna have to turn that up because I can't hear that at all. Okay, so for that to even be the same as the other two, that's way more cranked. Okay, so they all sound very different to each other. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to tweak these to what's most sort of pleasing to my ears, or how I would set a Big Muff sort of pedal, and see how close they get with those settings. Does that make sense? Right, so more sustain, a bit more tone. Okay, so this is how I would normally use a standard Big Muff pedal. I lost my pick. Always come prepared. It's like the end of the world. Right, I ain't got time to wait that out. Right, now back onto the Big Muff, the Op Amp Big Muff. Right, so I need more of that, more volume, less. Oh, let's put it on that and bring the tone down. Okay, so that's a bit more me. So how's that stack up? Hang on. Okay, so they're a lot closer now. This one's a bit more fizzy. Okay, that's probably as close as they're gonna get. This one, the Op Amp one, is a bit more aggressive sounding. Okay, so now we've got those two sounding a bit closer to each other. Let's see if we can get the new Big Muff 2 to sound that way too. It's so much louder than the other two pedals. I don't need to turn that up at all. Right, so let's crank that up. Let's get a bit more top end. Oh, that's weird. The sweep. Sorry, I keep stopping playing, don't I? The sweep of the tone knob is way more different to the other two. It feels like it's sculpting more. If that makes sense. Probably not the best way to describe that. It's like not only is it adding the top end, but it's also taking the low end away as you roll it up. Do you know what? I'm actually really surprised by this pedal because it is such a departure from any Big Muff that I've played before. It feels way different, which is a good thing because it means there's a reason to buy another pedal, right? It's a much boxier sound, it's more controlled in some ways, but the top end feels more controlled, but the bottom end feels a bit more loose, and no one wants a loose bottom end. Do you know what? So I've got the Cornerstone Colosseum down here, so I'm going to chuck on the Klon side of it to give it a bit more of a push, because I think it needs something in front of it. Okay, so with the Klon in front of it, it's starting to sound more how I would want a Big Muff to sound. I would never use that for that sound though, because why would I? I would just use a Big Muff and then use this for the sound that it makes. But just out of interest, you know, just so you know that you could get both sounds out of it if you want to. That is a killer sound. There's some serious magic in this pedal. So just to remind you about the Klon. Then with it. Wow, that is really cool. so cool. What a cool sounding pedal. Right, well, that is... Hang on, I'm going to turn this off because that noise is doing me head in. So there we have it. That is a very quick shootout of these three Big Muff pedals. I don't know about you, but I am very surprised at just how different the Big Muff 2 sounds to the other two. I really did think it would be quite similar to the orange Op Amp version of the Big Muff, but that was the most different of all of them. It was closer to the Nano, if anything. JHS have got a really good video out on the history behind this pedal, obviously because they had a massive hand in it. Which might explain why it is so different to the others. But I'm still very shocked nonetheless. But it's a good thing because it just means there's an excuse for you to go and buy another pedal. So let me know in the comments which one you preferred, or if you were like me and were expecting them to be a bit more similar. Yeah, just let me know your thoughts on them. Or if you've got one of these Big Muff 2s, let me know how you've been getting on with it. I'm quite excited to spend a bit more time with it and get to know it a bit better. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.